Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, this defense for the Saints, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Let's go.
Lance now on first down.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara
taken down at the 42. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
On 2nd and 7, Winston. Looking left side, and it's complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They run it again with Kamara. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
He had a minimal gain on first down. Now they stop him for no gain. What do you think, going in a different direction on 3rd down?
Could very well be. I'll guarantee he's asking for the ball 3rd time to try and make up for the first 2. But his QB might very well say, well, my man, maybe next series. Let's try someone else on this play.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This from 54 yards away. The kick by Lutz is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
The Niners, it's 6 and 4 now on the year. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Open man is Juwan Jennings.
His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Let's go now.
Lance looking to throw it.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
To try again after the sack, Winston. And this one is incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They go play action. Winston. He's going to try and go deep again. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's McLeod on the return.
It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And really, they're pretty fortunate right now to only be down 3-0 following 2 turnovers. They've got it now 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
And Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lance.
Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
Ready?
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'll guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco.
A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the 49ers have taken the lead.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards cap. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. So nothing doing there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Now Winston on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Niners take over in terrific field position.
Ready.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Lance. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. A give running left, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Okay.
A good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Lance. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still a very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And they're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. And
And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
2nd and 5 now. Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Play fake. Winston.
He completes it to Olave.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Final play of the half here. Winston.
That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans.
A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Saints are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And he goes out of bounds finally, but they're already on the edge of the red zone as he returns this to the 20. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he powers his way up past the 30. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Going quickly here to Thomas. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, New Orleans.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
On first down, Lance.
That one complete to his receiver, Jennings. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And that's patience to be admired right there because he looks left, looks right, and waits for the right guy to come open, spots him in the middle of the field, and delivers.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Jameis to throw it. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you...
The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
A lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And now this one may draw a penalty. He just blindly threw that one to the sideline. And, yep, indeed, the flag is out. So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. From midfield, here's Lance. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Marcus Davenport, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is taken at the 23. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set them back on 2nd.
That sack doesn't change their offensive game plan. They always want to air it out and try and get the ball downfield quickly. They're going to have to block a little bit better, though, because the urgency and pressure just increase.
Twice the distance now just to get a first down, and one less down to try and get it.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston, he'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. On play action, Winston. Finds his man, that's Olave on the crossing route. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
Let's go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Lance now to throw. And, oh, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are right back in this football game. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd down now.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. They'll get this out to Kamara. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
So with your team leading in the fourth quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Lance. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Ready.
They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Christian McCaffrey unable to get to the marker. And the Saints will have the football back. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call. And the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Jameis now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
2nd down and 5. Winston. Here's Johnson with a reception. Touchdown, New Orleans. Juwan Johnson, 36 yards. And the Saints have taken a 4th quarter lead. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like he still harbors some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Ready.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride to the offense this go-around. Lance looking to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays the game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play.
Here we go, set.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Lance. Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Lance back to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Lance. Flush to his right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pick up there of 20 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. CD, that was an all-or-nothing drive to win this football game, and they rose to the occasion to take the lead here in the waning moments.
And how about how they got it done? No timeouts left. They take it downfield, execute perfectly, and get it done. Now they don't leave their opponent with a heck of a lot of time on the clock.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They've got to burn the timeout, and they do, but a costly, costly sack. And now maybe just time for one final play.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often. Here's
Winston. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. With 3 seconds to go, if it's good, we're off to overtime. And his kick is indeed good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So it's the Saints who are going to be in position to get the ball first as we are back underway and set for overtime.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Play action now. Winston. Olave holds it in. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 43. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. That puts them in field goal range, but let's face it, they don't want 3 here. They want 6. With these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, it's Winston.
Throwing out right here, caught by Olave.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 25 yards that time.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these 2 have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Ready?
And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.
So it's a win here for the Saints, and it was thanks in large part to the play of their veteran QB, CD, and that's Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I think we both were really impressed with how he played. He threw for almost 400 yards, had 3 touchdown passes, and was absolutely in total control of this offense.
So for the Saints, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Niners, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins.
Let's go. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I swear I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I swear I am the greatest of all time. Said I'm coming for everything. You good, but to be great, you gotta have confidence. The next level was legend. You gotta have accomplishments. In any league, they considering me dominant. The wrong falls, you know the pit of defeat, bottomless. I was hungry way before I got your support. I hopped off the porch around the time that y'all got awards. Lyrical exercise, this what I call a sport. The fourth bar, brother, when I push the rock off the court. I got champion genetics. Champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. The catamounts who talent don't average out. If your flow ain't nowhere near this caliber, that don't count. Competition get flattened out. Getting money like I went top 3 in the first round. My salary that amount. They want my style, but that ain't much to be flat about. I take it as a challenge when rappers calling my status out. One of the best, and they ain't my pedigree. You can have the rings, or we did it, AI's legacy. I got champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I said I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I said I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the great. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the great.
for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me.